The Forgotten Series, Episode 4. You like dinos? How about dino eggs? Or jungles? So let's talk about it. Today we're gonna be going over episode 3 documentary of Turok, video game series that was close to my childhood. Endless nights playing this game. I don't think I've ever beat any Turoks. I've never beat any Turoks. But you know what? I played them all, but I never beat them. I was a kid. Never really understood the concept of beating games. I never really beat a lot of games as a kid. You know, and that wasn't until I hit my until I became a teenager. The fuck am I talking about? Is when I started beating video games. But as a kid, man, 10 years old, playing Turok, I didn't know how to beat this shit. So it was a close to home, daily departed love of my life. And we're going to talk about it. So Turok is a series of first-person shooter video games based on the comic book character of the same name, Turok. It is set in a primitive world inhabited by dinosaurs and other creatures, and the series was originally developed by Acclaim Studios Austin as Iguana Entertainment and published by Acclaim Entertainment from 1995 until Acclaim's bankruptcy in September 2004. The series was then developed by Propaganda Games and published by Touchstone Games. The first release of Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, was in 1997, February 28th, and the latest release ever was Turok, February 5th, 2008. So we're going to break down the rich and beloved game history now that you know what the game is pretty much about. It's a first-person shooter, stuck in the jungle, you're destroying dinosaurs. It was released for Nintendo 64, Microsoft Windows, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, PS2, Xbox. It's all over the fucking place. So we're going to talk about Turok, Dinosaur Hunter. The first game in the series, it was developed by Iguana Entertainment and published by Acclaim for the Nintendo 64 console and personal computer programs in 1997. A remastered version was developed by Night Dive Studios and was later released for Windows and Steam, through Steam and Xbox One in 2017 and 2018 respectively. The remastered version was also released on the Nintendo Switch on March 18th, 2019 on PlayStation 4 and on February 25th, 2021. Very, very, very recently. Why is this game called the Forgotten Series if it was just remastered recently? Well, because it was a remaster of an old fucking game. We haven't had anything new for the series and the franchise other than a remaster, and that's why we're still doing this episode of Turok. Then, Turok 2, Seeds of Evil came out. It was the sequel to the Dinosaur Hunter, released for Nintendo 64 in the late 1998 and ported to Windows OS in 1999. A separate game, also titled Turok 2, Seeds of Evil, was released for the Game Boy Color in 1998. Although set in the same fictional universe in the Game Boy Color game, follows a different storyline, just like the first game, and a remastered version was developed by Night Dive Studios and was later released through Steam and Xbox One in 2017-2018 respectively. The remastered version also came out on the Nintendo Switch in 2019. So we have the first Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, Turok 2, Seeds of Evil. Both came out on Nintendo Switch. Both had remaster re-releases recently. Then we had Turok Rage Wars, a non-canon game that was released for Nintendo 64 in 1999, and a Game Boy Color version followed in 2000, but shared nothing in common with its home console counterpart. Turok 3 came out, Shadow of Oblivion. The sequel to Seeds of Evil, it was released in 2000 for the Nintendo 64, and a Game Boy Color version was released, but shared nothing in common with its console counterpart. Then came Turok Evolution, which was the prequel to Dinosaur Hunter, released for the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube in 2002, and it became a 2D side-scrolling version. And a 2D side-scrolling version was also released for the Game Boy Advance, and a port for the Microsoft Windows version was released in 2003 for the European market. And then we had the latest release of the series of games called Turok, a reboot that was unrelated to any of the games ever made, developed by Propaganda Games, published by Touchstone Games, and distributed by Disney Interactive Studios, released in 2008 for the Xbox 360 and PS3. It was later ported to Microsoft Windows that same year. And then for the ones that didn't know, we had cancel games. We had an untitled Turok Game Boy Advance game. Prototype for the game was planned sometime around the release of Turok Evolution, which was around the 2002-2003. And then we had Turok, another untitled Turok Evolution sequel. After Turok Evolution, Acclaim Studios had a small team in charge of creating the sequel to Turok Evolution, and the project was never picked up, and the team moved on to other projects. And then we had Turok 2, which was known chronologically as Turok 6 in various news articles. It was planned and partially developed from the sequel of Turok 2008, and it was eventually canceled mid-development due to many layoffs at Propaganda Games, and therefore the series hasn't went anywhere other than getting 2 remasters of Turok Basic and Turok 2 for the Nintendo Switch Xbox. So, let me guys know in the comments below, do you count this as a forgotten game because it had 2 remasters recently? Or do you count it as a forgotten game because it hasn't had anything new and innovative to the series? The reason why I'm counting it as a forgotten game is because it had no new alliteration to the series other than the 2 remastered games that came out 2-3 years ago. We want a Turok 4, or a chronologically Turok 6 or Turok 7. Bring out the Turoks. Dinosaurs need to be living, they need to breathe, they need to roar, they need to be hunted. I don't know. Do you think a Turok game would even survive in this climate? I don't say because of censorship and the way the world is. I just feel like it might just be too cliche, too boring. I mean, hunting dinosaurs. It's kind of like the Deer Hunter games, Deer Hunter simulators. It's like we're just hunting dinosaurs. Would you think it'd have to be remade completely and become a different type of game as what Turok originally stand for? And instead of killing the dinosaurs, you're capturing the dinosaurs and hunting other people while you ride the dinosaurs? Can they spin it like that? I don't know. Do you guys even think Turok should even come back, or should we just forget about it in the forgotten series and let it just RIP? Let me know in the comments below, but make sure you stay up to date with all the latest in gaming tech news and reviews. Smash that like, and as always, subscribe. God bless and peace. We'll be right back.